Hey guys, welcome back to DMAC Customs on the YouTube. Dave here in the garage, bomb truck. Last video, pulled the heads, found a crack in the bore on the old 3 down in there. So a bit of an emotional roller coaster on the last couple of videos. Actually thought I was kind of figuring shit out, and then I was, still fighting my lack of knowledge and experience and the bigger problems that I've since found. So whether they were kind of giving me all those symptoms or not, I don't really know. But this go around, I'm going to pull the rest of the block and that out of the truck and tear it down and have a look. That's the plan anyway at this point. So let's get into it. You remember in the last video we discovered a crack in the block on the old 383. Down here on the number 6 there's a crack through there. Don't know what the story was with that, why that happened, but I don't think that was my fault. Could have been. I don't think it's ever been overheated. It could have just got to a point in its life and that's it. But we went through a whole shit fight trying to figure out why it wouldn't run with any preload on the lifters and stuff like that. Whether that had anything to do with cracking the block, I don't know. But if I hadn't have spotted that crack, I probably, I don't know, maybe would have just done gaskets and put it all back together, and then would have been in the same boat. Lesson learned to, like, early on in the whole exercise, I noted a couple of the rockers had heaps of play in them. I should have investigated that more when I took the intake off the first time, and I probably would have found those lifters then, but I probably would have replaced or fixed or done something with those and then put it all back together and still had a crack in the block. So fortunately, I guess I found by taking the heads off I found that issue, or by doing a compression test I found an issue, which made me take the heads off. So that's, yeah, I don't know. If you watch all those videos, you'll see me trying to figure out heaps of stuff, like beyond my experience and skill levels. So learning curve, like steep learning curve. I have been on this journey trying to figure out what's going on with this thing. But yeah, that lifter there on number 7 is pushed down, and that one there on number 4, which is kind of weird. It's nothing to do with number 6. So it could have been a multitude of things going wrong with my engine all at once. So not one thing affecting other things. Those compressed lifters could be me from when I maybe overdid them, but maybe I didn't. That's the thing. That's sort of, they shouldn't. One full turn is the maximum I put into those lifters, so that should have been able to do that. But if they were already pumped up or having problems, then yeah, could have caused more problems later on. I picked up this block yesterday after work from a mate of mine. He had it sitting in storage. It's been machined and new frost plugs and stuff put in at some point, and then it's been greased up and left to sit. So don't know what it's been machined out to, so with any luck I'll be able to use a lot of my rotating assembly and parts and stuff to build a new, rebuild the motor sort of thing, heads, as long as there's no issue. So I'm still going to, I'll obviously have to pull this one out, and I want to pull that all apart and see if there's any other obvious damage to anything, and then I can kind of take it all to an engine builder and get him to go through it all, measure it all, and get any parts that he needs and hopefully put it together for me. I did think about trying to do all that myself, but it's, it's probably a bit above my pay grade, and it's worth kind of getting it done by someone who knows really what they're doing. Not, I'd like to have a go at it. I'd like to have a go at assembling a motor. I'm wouldn't want to be the one doing all the measuring of bearings and bores and things like that. I don't have the tooling and knowledge. I can Google it. I'll probably watch some YouTube videos, but I would probably rather sort of stand over someone's shoulder while I learn how to do that sort of thing. But yeah, won't be on this engine, I don't think. So anyway, I'm going to pull these lifters out. Made me a little box to put them all in the order that they come out in, and I want to investigate those dodgy ones. Yeah, I want to pull the clips out. I watched a video on it. So, number 7 exhaust is down, you can see that. So I'm gonna pop the clips in and have a look. Okay, so finally got that lifter apart. Well, mostly. Still got that bit on there. Left that spring behind, inside there, so they just kind of sit on there, I guess. There's a bit of old manky oil and stuff in there. I'll give it a clean out and see if I can see anything that might have been stopping it coming back. But once I kind of banged it around a bit, it actually, the plunger actually did come back up to the top. But as for why it stayed down there in the first place, I don't know whether this spring is now lost too much of its springiness, I don't know, but I'll have a look. Got the little end cap off and the little spring underneath there, the little ball bearing. Just the usual, so far, normal manky oil in there, but it's just a little press fit, friction fit thing. Seems to be working fine now. Look at one of these ones, see what they do. Locked up solid. Alright, we'll have a look at that one and see if that one's the same. Okay, so that was the number 4 exhaust lifter, the one that was stuck down as well. All I could really see in there was a tiniest little bit of gungy stuff underneath that little press fit cap at the very kind of on the inside, you know. It's all moving freely now, no problem. So as to why they were stuck down, don't know. I was kind of half expecting a broken spring or something in there, but yeah, it wasn't the case. Maybe the springs got bound. Like, they might still be no good though, so I'll make a note of that. Other than this video diary, I'll make a note on my little box of lifters here that these two were stuck and cleaned and disassembled and put back together. So there could be a problem with those springs and that in there, and they might be junk after all that. But as far as wear on the bottoms of them goes, they all actually look reasonably good. There was a couple that had chatter marks here and there. That one there, which is actually the number 6 exhaust, which is one of the ones that was stuck down, so it doesn't feel concave or anything, it just feels a little, or it just looks a little textured, whereas some of the others are smooth. So I'll have to have a good look at the cam on those lobes and see if there's any damage and stuff on there when we pull the cam out. Yeah, so well, that's probably about it for me tonight. I'm going to hit this again on the weekend and pull that sucker out, get it on the stand, drain all the oil and what's left of the fluids out of it, and start pulling it apart and sort of see what else I can find. You know, can't really hurt it any more than I already have. So where was I going with this? Which I wonder, the last few times I've taken the truck out, it's had a little bit of a miss, you know, like climbing a mild hill, not like, you know, giving it heaps of gentle or anything, just like chugga up a hill. It's had a little bit of a miss, you know. I wonder if that was, you know, those kind of weak cylinders misfiring or something like that. I at the time I thought it was spark plugs and leads and tune-up stuff, you know, that I'd been neglecting. So, you know, could have been that stuff all along. Someone might know more, and I think we'll hopefully know more when we pull the rest of the engine out and pull it apart, you know. So yeah, anyway, till the weekend in a second. In other news, I picked up supposedly running 350 long block yesterday. I haven't picked it up yet. I bought it yesterday, but I have got to go and get it today. So hence the crane sitting there. Brother-in-law Carl from Bunny's Garage on YouTube, go and check it out. He's going to give us a hand because he's got a ute, a utility vehicle or a pickup truck, you know, like a, I don't know what it is, Mazda or something like that. So he's going to give us a hand to go and grab it and bring it back here, and then we can look at throwing that into the truck to keep it running while we sort out the 383. Yeah, and then I'll have a spare motor when that comes back out and the 383 goes back in. Or maybe. Depends. We'll see. Hey guys, so back from picking up this little unit here. This is just a kind of pretty bare block. Well, not bare block, it's a long block, I guess you'd call it. Could do with some new spark plugs, and I don't know what that is, and don't know what's going on with that, but looks like these rocker covers were kind of put on at some point. They're just loosely bolted on. Picked up that, grabbed a water pump off the chap as well, just because he had it, and yeah, so got that sorted. Before I can do anything really with that, I've got to get this out of the way, figure out what I need for that. Hopefully it'll go. Still trying to decide whether I try to get it started on the floor or whether I just put it in and hope for the best. It turns over, it's got compression and all that stuff. So how good it is, I don't know. But I got it for a really good price, and at the very least it's a good sort of 010 block, which is more than I can say for that one. And brother-in-law, you know, Carl and I were looking over this, and looking at some of the weird sort of markings and strange marks in some of the bores, and yeah, there's a whole bunch of mysteries with my 383 block that don't have any answers for, but I want to pull it all out and start figuring out what I need to do. Yeah, so I'm going to take the bonnet off and clear some stuff out of the way, because I'm going to have to pull the radiator. I was hoping to maybe just pull the water pump and pull the motor without the radiator coming out, but then I realised there's harmonic balancer and big pulleys and bolts and crap like that down in there. So yeah, it's all got to come out. So let's get at it. How am I going to do this? I don't know. I'll get some stuff out of the way first. I've undone that end. I've got to get in under here and undo the inside part. Passenger side will be alright, the driver's side's going to be a little bit tricky to get to. Yep, so that's the passenger side one up there. I don't know what size it is. Yep. Magnetic base on the old camera is attracting unwanted spannage attention. Yeah. The other side's buried up under there somewhere, but we'll get those out. Yeah, got it. Just got to take this piece off, basically to get to two wires to disconnect the pusher fan. Over here. These two fellas here. Should make a note of what colour goes where. Red to black, brown to blue. Damn, high velocity bug impact. Okay, so radiator out, as you've seen, hopefully. Next up, I'll do the power steering pump and the oil pressure gauge and get the old starter motor wiring disconnected. It's all pretty straightforward stuff. Probably won't need to film that. So yeah, just got to disconnect the starter. Take that off. I've already done the fuel and all these, obviously all these relays and stuff back here for the fans. And then after that, I have to get it up in the air, torque converter bolts, take the starter out, strap up the transmission, or put a motorcycle jack underneath it to hold it, and then we can look at lifting the broken motor out of the hole. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Man, it's taking me ages, like all these little things to remember how I did it, you know, the process to actually get that radiator out. I have never taken the radiator out since I put it in when I built the truck. And when I put it in after the motor went in, but before all this outer sheet metal went on. So it was kind of a little bit easier to get to everything. Especially things like, you know, the trans lines and stuff like that, the cooler lines, and you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so anyway, carry on. Antifreeze pouring out of the block, right where I need to lay. Oh man, I miss the old days when all I had to do was sand the bog on the Area 51 project. That was good times. Know what I'm saying? I'm too old for this shit. Ow, I'm stuck. I think I've put on weight since I've been under here. What are they? 9/16 as well, yeah? Hey, hey. Disco time. Disco time. Papa ground, wow, wow. Ah, place. Wrong place. Wrong time. Yep. Ah, haven't turned it quite far enough. Damn it. I'll try it anyway. Oh, there we go. Not just turn the... Ah, yeah, gee, what? Ah. Man, why talk converter bolts? Some of 3 of the most painful bolts to get undone, huh? And you're lying in a pool of antifreeze, header wraps covered in antifreeze, trans fluid dripping in your ear holes. I don't know where that came from, but I got it. There is only 3 of these, eh? Not 4? Yeah, 3. Whew. Thumbs up. Yeah. I think I might need another block of wood. Maybe I'll turn that block on its side. Might be enough. Oh, yeah, there we go. Just need to take a little weight. There we go. Transmission propped. Oh, right, bell housing bolts. Let's do those. Okay, seriously guys, if anyone wants to buy me one of those Milwaukee 3/8 drive battery ratchets, this would be the time. Doing this stuff, you can just go and you'll be done. But no, I'll have to do tiny little movements, and then it binds, and then it frees up, and then it binds. I have to rest my chin on a rusty master cylinder. Come on. Got ya. God. It's just about time, man. Alright, get the bolt out there so I don't lose it. Get 2 earth straps out of there so I don't lose them. Right. One more to break free. How do I do this? Can I get my elbow past there? Oh, it hurts. It hurts. Oh no. I broke the thing. Oh, you dirty dog. Hang on, don't find that thing that I just knocked off. There you go. Where's it gone? Oh. Way over there in the middle. Of course it is. Yeah. Ow. Yeah, got it. Okay, so where was I? I need a short thing. Oh, you dog. Why doesn't that want to come up? Am I going the wrong way? No. Yeah, there you go. Oh shit, that's tight. Holy cow. Oh, gotcha. Man. Oh, yeah. I got a sweat on doing that. What? An autumn sweat, not a full summer sweat. So much torque on it, my feet come off the ground. Lordy, 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 lordy.
well guys, as you've seen, you got the old 383, what's left of it, out, and managed to get more coolant on the ground. Joyce, should sprinkle some kitty litter around on that since I've got some, and hopefully just leave that to soak up overnight because I'm running out of day and I'm getting tired and I'm getting clumsy. I don't know if the camera caught it, but I kind of didn't lift my feet enough and I tripped on there and did the, you know, the Laurel and Hardy kind of exaggerated stumble to right myself before I kind of hit the deck too hard. Yeah, so she's out. Next up for this little unit is I've got to strip off everything that I need to reuse on here. That's a weird little thingy on there. Might need to take that. Probably do. Let's have a quick look see on there, because this has got an Edelweiss, Edelbrock. It's over there somewhere. It's in the back of the truck. An Edelbrock mechanical fuel pump. Obviously only needs 2 bolts as opposed to 4. Don't know. So I'll need strip a whole bunch of stuff off of here. I want to get this up onto my engine stand, which is hiding over there, all covered in dust and grease and stuff, and investigate this. Tear it down anyway, investigate it. Carl and I were having a look at the cam through the lifter holes earlier, and we can see what looks like some weird markings on those 2 lobes that were down. So I want to have a looky see at those and see what the damage is. So we might be in for a new cam at the very least on this motor. What else is there? No. Oh, we want to look at the crank and all that stuff and inspect the bearings, pull the pistons, have a look at the bores properly. Lots of strange little wear marks in the bores, so we'll have a squiz at those and see what's going on with that bit of action business stuff. But yeah, that's enough for today. I'm going to have me a cold one and a shower. Not a cold shower, but like I have a cold beer, and then I'll have a shower, a hot shower. And then, yeah, be back out here tomorrow. I'm not sure if I've got bolts long enough to go through my, through, not through with an F, my engine stand and into the bell housing holes. So I'll have a look, see and see if I've got any. And if not, shops will be open tomorrow. It's Easter weekend this weekend, so shops are closed and that today, but hopefully it'll be open tomorrow, and if I have to, I'll go and buy some bolts to do that, you know, to bolt it onto the stand. You know what I'm saying? So back to our investigations tomorrow. See ya. Hey guys, so next day, just been back from the hardware store and got me some bolts to put this on the engine stand. Expensive little exercise that was, just getting 3/8 by like 3 or 4 inches bolts and some Kiro and some rags was $50 something. Jeez, this is an expensive hobby. I don't know whether I filmed it or not, but last night I dumped the oil out of this, the old 383, and yeah, there's probably less than an hour on that oil and it is black and yuck. Don't know whether it's coolant and stuff in there or whether it was just all the other shit that's going on. Probably with that cracked bore, maybe blowing carbon through it. Don't know. But yeah, so I'll whip the flywheel off and get it up in the air and get this engine stand on there and get this crane out of the way and get a little bit more room to work. So quickly do that. Yeah, and get rid of this oil so I don't trip over it and spill it over the floor and stuff. Dumping that oil out of that tray, and it's quite a lot of sludge in that. There was a bit of crap still in the tray from last time, still, to be fair, but if you check that out, that's like, yeah, not good. So yeah, definitely something wrong with that motor, that one there. So hence the reason we're pulling it down. Yeah, so it's out of it. I wasn't really expecting that much in there for the period of time that was running. So yeah, definitely some major stuff going on inside there. Aside from what we can see already, I think there's probably some cam issues. As I said before, we were having a look at the lifters and what we can see of the cam so far. There's definitely some stuff going on. So as to what's caused it all, I don't really know. Hopefully this tearing it down might give us some insight into that, but it's looking pretty grim for a lot of the internals in this thing so far, but we shall see. Yeah, so yeah, she's pretty thick, pH thick. It's still water, obviously coolant and stuff in there as well, that's giving you that kind of milkshakey look, but there was a few kind of lumpy bits and a moth. So a moth had managed to commit some, do some life-ending stuff into a vat of oil, cold oil. But yeah, so I finished cleaning this up, get rid of it. Kind of started cleaning up this mess and figured I'd probably going to make another bigger mess. So I've got the old bomb truck pushed back a bit, and I'm going to start with kind of just taking off a lot of the peripherals, just sort of this stuff that I'm going to be keeping and reusing, get it out the way, and then maybe pull the cam first, take the timing cover and everything off and do that. Yeah, let's do it. High speed time. Hey guys, so just thought I'd bring you over here and have a look at this cam and see what hopefully you can see what I'm seeing. Just sort of rolling through it and having a look, you can see a few of these lobes have got these kind of chatter marks, and that, I don't know if hopefully it'll show up on the camera, but that would be probably number one exhaust, would it? I think. Number one intake. There's some weird discoloration on a few of them, but these are the markings that are probably most concerning. If you come over here, you can see on this lobe here, it's quite a lot as well. Same on that one. And it seems to be not on the highest point, but it's kind of in between the lowest point and the highest point, and a little bit on the high point, I guess. But and that seems to be pretty consistent across the whole cam, but not on every lobe. It's just on a few. Like there's markings there, through there, on both sides. There's a bit on that one, and not so bad on that side, but then the next one there's a bit of discoloration. I don't know whether that's normal or not. On this lobe here, there's that kind of like little hammering marks. Be interesting to, if I knew how to measure. If I knew how to measure that sort of stuff, it'd be interesting to see, you know, if you put like a caliper of some sort on there and measure and see how, if any of the lobe is been wiping off, if you know what I mean. I don't know what the benchmark base measurement would be, but you know, it would be interesting. But yeah, it's hard to see in this light just what's been going on, but there's definitely damage to the cam, so there you go. Okay, so let's have a look inside the sump. There's gritty stuff in here, like grit. Can feel it under my fingers. You can probably hear it too. So there's like a bit of silver in there. I don't know. Yeah, it's like metallic paint in there. But the amount of grit, it's weird. It feels like sand. You can see it. So, crikey. Well, we'll carry on with the dissection and see what else we find under the crank bearings and stuff like that. Okay, so got all the pistons out. You might have seen that if you're watching at this point. I think I found out where all the grit came from in the sump. Have a look. bloody magnet. Every single rod bearing is like that. I haven't even bothered looking at the rings or anything like that. I mean, this is number 6 here. I haven't really kind of paid that much attention. I was just kind of looking at the bearings, to be honest. Can't see any sort of broken bits of ring or anything. That's 8, 6, 4, 2, and 1, 2, 3. 1, 3, 5, and 7. But yeah, every single bearing is like that. Crikey, I'm surprised it still went. I just sent some pictures to Carl from Bunny's Garage, and he's been into motors a lot more than I have in this kind of level, and he reckons he's never seen one with such rooted bearings that still sounded so good. But I don't know. So all that's left to do really, I think, is to pull the crank and have a look at the crank bearings and see what they're like. But there is a bit of scarring, obviously, after all that bearing damage. There's a bit of pit there, and you know, there's a bit of scarring on every kind of area. These back two are probably the worst, but I can feel them. Yeah, I can feel, oh, there's heaps. So I don't know whether the crank is gonna be able to be reused. I know they can. I'm just getting a rag. I know they can kind of polish them up and refinish them and put oversized bearings and stuff in, but I don't know whether that's too far gone or what. So it'd be a shame if it is. I don't know what sort of crank it is. Hopefully I'll be able to ID some of these parts. I couldn't see any branding in there on these conrods. There is a part number on them, so I might be able to look that up later on and see what they are. I mean, I don't know whether they're still any good or what. None of them seem to be bent, I don't think, but that one looks bent because it's on a wonky angle. But yeah, so they all appear to be kind of straight. If you recognize those, you know, they could just be a no-name brand of conrod. I don't know. Crikey, she's broken. Okay, boogers. The main bearings, as you can see, aren't really much better. Oh, bloody magnet. That one there's got gouges in it. These are all worn, especially those back two. The front one's not, well, you know, look at that. Crikey. That one's not that bad, but they've all got, I mean, that's got like a, God, it's probably about 0.5 millimeter deep. It's crazy how much damage is in these bearings. Just, how? Why? What happened? I don't know. Yeah, trippy, man. Like, I don't know why this unit went so well for so long, and then all of a sudden all of this shit happened, you know. Wrong oil, maybe, should have been alright. Can't find any, I mean there's a lot of grit in the pan, but I hadn't really noticed whether there's any broken rings or whether that sort of stuff's kind of gone through. Where's number 7? That's that over there. That was the one that was down on poundage as well. Can't really see any broken bits of ring or anything like that. And as I said before, this was number 6, which was the one with the cracked bore. Can't see anything there. It's probably a more scientific way of doing this than just looking at them, but I'm just looking for something kind of that stands out as a look at me, I'm broken, that's what I sent all this metal through your engine. But so far, not really seeing anything like that, other than all the metal through the engine from the bearings. Yeah, nothing jumping out. Lucky last, number 1. Oh, you can see a bit of scuffing on the side of that piston there. That's number 1. Not really seeing anything else in the rings that's leaping out and saying here's your problem. Let's have a look. Yeah, so we've got a bit of scuffing on the side of the piston there, and there. Yeah, so I mean there's scuffing on all of them by the looks of things, but whether that's a normal-ish kind of thing, don't really know. I was talking to a bloke that I bought that 350 off the other day, and he was explaining how, like the way 383 strokers put more of a lateral push kind of into the belly of the bore, so you kind of do get more of a weir pattern like that, whereas a shorter stroke kind of engine, it's less somehow. He explained it all and it made sense at the time. Now I can't repeat it, so don't quote me on that. I don't know whether it's all like fully whatever, you know. But yeah, I'm going to give this a little bit of a clean down, just so I can have a look in the bores a bit better, because when I tipped it upside down, I didn't take the oil filter off, and then it just dumped all sorts of oil into the pistons and all sorts of stuff. So I'll give it a bit of a sort of wipe down and spin it around, and we'll have a look in all of the bores a bit more. Yeah. Okay. So having a look in here from the bottom side up. I don't know why my door's creaking. I'm trying to figure out, it's that piston there, that hole there, the one that's cracked. Yeah, you can see the crack coming right down to the cross hatching there. Hopefully you can see it. Something else I just noted, I was told the other day that when one builds a 383, you've got to die grind out the bottom of this area here so the crank doesn't hit it. Doesn't look like the crank's been hitting it, but man, she's pretty thin in places where there's, it's been bored out and stuff. And from this side, it doesn't look like sleeves. I don't know whether it is sleeved or not, but I mean, it's been ground out up here. See at the top there,
That must be clearancing for the counterweights on the crank. Yeah, so it's been ground out on all of those. Not very neatly, I might add, but you know, maybe that's how you do it. I don't know. I'm not an engine builder. But yeah, so that's what they look like. You can see how thin it is. Look at that, little notches in that out of it. Is that cracks or what? Is that casting marks under there, or is that broken in more ways than one? Let's have a look again from the other side. Yeah, so that under there, is that a crack or a casting mark? I don't know. It's the only one that's got a bit like that in it, so I don't know. Alright, I'll just turn it over. I'll just turn it over and we'll have a look at it from the top. And then I don't know then after that. Okay, so the light, there we go. So this is 1, 3, 5 and 7. So you can see a kind of a deep, or a line that runs full height down there. I think that might just be a scratch. I don't know that it's a crack. Doesn't matter at this point anyway. I think this block and pretty much this engine is toast. Again, weird pitting in that. Those little marks down in there. You can actually see those ones there. You can feel them with your fingernail, which is strange. They look like corrosion marks. It's like maybe this was an old underwater block and it's just been kind of bored and honed or something. So like all that weird discoloration there and the old number 2, they look like tide marks, like water marks. It's such a strange sort of markings when it should be, you know, wear marks and things. And this number 6, where the compression was next to 0, you can see that crack pretty much runs the full length of the bore. And I think it comes up to right up onto this edge. It doesn't seem to come across there, but who knows. Again, not that it makes a lot of difference now. That marks from when I knocked the pistons out. But so there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe lady. Maybe there's a lady watching my channel, I don't know. Wow, like that disassembly of the old 383. I gotta check the numbers and stuff on that. I gotta see if I can find some part numbers and start looking some stuff up, because I want to know what the stuff is that was in this motor, just out of curiosity. Not that it makes a lot of difference now, I just didn't get a lot of information with it when I bought it, and so I had to take the bloke on his word that it was what it was, you know, without tearing it down and doing all of this. You just kind of got to take a man at his word. Right, in reality, the engine probably owes me $5 grand, 4.5, $5 grand. I got a motor and gearbox combo sort of thing. So yeah, so it's probably about 5,000 when I bought it. Did I get my fun out of it? Yeah, I had it for a few years. Haven't done crazy miles or long miles on it. Done lots of stuff around the Bay of Plenty and that with this motor. Yeah, generally hot miles, not lots of, other than in and out of the garage, it's stop start sort of shit. But generally it's sort of, when we've been on runs, it's, you know, good, you know, hour or two solid driving, and then a, you know, good hour or two turn around and come back sort of thing. And it always went well, even up until oh, pardon me, a couple of weeks ago, when I started this whole process thinking it just needed some spark plugs and new leads and some brake pads. It was still going okay. It had a little bit of a miss, like I've said before, I think in these videos, it had a little bit of a miss
you know, like climbing a hill, it would and I was thinking, oh, it needs a tune-up. I wasn't hearing any knocking. I wasn't hearing any out of control rattling. You know, there was a lifter noise when it was cold, which hydraulic lifters, they do that sometimes. You get a lifter noise, it warms up and pumps up and it goes away. As for why I was having all those problems with the lifters, could have been, you know, gummed up with metal and stuff in them. I don't really know. I didn't notice it when I pulled those two apart. I didn't notice any metal in those, but I kind of wasn't really looking for it all. I was looking at, you know, when I got into the sump there, I was like, ugh. Because I really was not expecting that. I thought there would be more watery sludge and stuff in there. I wasn't really expecting the bearings to be so bad. I mean, crikey, look at it. Looks like they're made of copper entirely. So they would not have lasted much longer, I don't think. You know, honestly, when they get that worn, there can't be much left in them, can there? Like, really? Be hours, not days. It would, you know, minutes even. So, yeah. I'm going to do some research and find out what that crank is. Can't find any identifiers on this thing, so I may not be able to identify it. I would have thought, again, there would be some kind of, you know, if it was a name brand of some sort, it would have Scat on it or whoever, you know. But look, there's worm marks all over the place. But anyway, I'll see if I can find something on here to tell me what this is. It's a little hard to see, but it is a 383 crank. It's an Eagle crank. Oh, it's S1103338. I thought that was an 8. Now that I've got my spectacles on, I can see what's going on. So these marks, you can see there's some kind of grinder marks and that on this crank as well. That might have just been balancing material removal. I was thinking, oh, maybe whoever put the motor together kind of ground out those bits of the block with it all assembled and then, you know, didn't clean out the steel, but it would have presented well before now, I'd say. So it's an Eagle crank, it's a 383. I'm assuming, like it says right there, and S1103338. I wonder what that means. I might Google it. That's an Eagle Specialty Products. Pretty sure I've heard of them. Just search by part number. Oh god, they do all sorts of shit. What the? Wonder if the rods are Eagle rods as well. First Auto Parts company here in New Zealand sell them, so Eagles forged lightweight 383 stroker kit for yeah, so I don't know. Don't really know why I'm looking that up, but it's an Eagle crank. Seem to be common enough, but I'll have a look up these rods and see what they are. Okay, so all I can find on the rods and the caps are like they've been engraved with a matching number for the cap and the rod, so they're machined obviously to fit each other. Yeah, if that makes sense. Okay, finally, couldn't get my bloody GoPro to go again. Battery died, but what was I saying? Oh, the crank, yeah, might be able to get it kind of polished, refinished. You know, engine builder will be able to tell me that. I don't know what the limits are or the tolerances are for being able to clean up something like that. Crack in the block could be re-sleeved and stuff like that. They do that. There is another issue with this block that I discovered years back. It's cracked back down here somewhere. I can't remember where it is now. Where the starter motor bolts in somehow, somewhere. I found it cracked there once when I was mucking around with starter motors. But there's my knees. I can't remember where it was, but I'm sure I found a crack in there. Now I'm starting to second guess myself, but where would I have seen it from laying under the car? I'm sure it was up and around here somewhere, or in here somewhere, maybe. It might have been, that might be it there. I should try putting my glasses back on. No, can't see. Dang, dang these eyes. Dang, they're getting old and still being ignorant. Hey guys, so I've seen a couple of pictures of the cam damage to a mate of mine, and he spotted a bunch of damage on the cam gear itself, like in the photos. He zoomed on in there, and hopefully you'll be able to see it. But there's on the gear, there's a heap of kind of pretty significant wear on that gear. Bloody magnet. If you can see it on the face of the teeth closest to us, you know, there's gouges out of that cam gear. So cam's toast, pretty sure the lifters at toast. Rockers might be right, don't know about the heads. I want to get someone who knows what they're looking at to look at those, make sure they're not cracked and still flat and true and square and not got bent valves and stuff like that. So yeah, but maybe that's where the metal came from. I don't know where the distributor is now. The distributor gear looks fine, but as to why it ate the cam gear, I don't know. Whether there was, you know, cam walk or something like that, and it just got it started, and once it got started it just chewed it up. But I don't know. If anyone's got any insight onto that, little mystery there, let us know in the comments. I was wondering, could I have done it when I was bumping the starter and I had the cap just sitting on there, and it kind of caught. Maybe that kind of bound it and was enough to get it started. I wouldn't have thought so. I would have thought it would have broken the plastic dizzy cap before it started eating the cam gear, you know, like seriously. Yeah, another little clue. But anyway, that's where I'm going to leave this video. The memory card's getting a bit full, which means I've got a lot of waffling to kind of edit down into something mildly watchable. So that's pretty much the autopsy of the old 383. Kind of worked out way different than I thought it was going to be, honestly. I thought it would be, you know, cracked block, maybe a little bit of wear in there, here and there sort of thing. Wasn't expecting so much wear on the bearings. I just don't know why. It was because it was real high compression. The pistons, you know, the pots that had good compression were really good, like way higher than I thought they should be. They were running from 210 to 245 psi on the gauge that I had, and then the other one was number 7 was 110, and number 6 was 40. So depending on how accurate the gauge in that is, you know, as to how good of a, what do you call it, like, you know, how, you know, whether that's a true number or whether it's just for cylinder by cylinder comparison, if that makes sense. But yeah, so like I say, it went different to how I thought it was going to. Still haven't taken any valves and stuff out of the heads. I'll leave that to an engine builder to check, make sure nothing's bent there, and you know, like check the decking of the heads, or the, you know, like the flush them out sort of thing. That's what they're specialised at, and I'm like, yeah, you probably figured out, I got no idea. So I'm just kind of like, you know, this is the easy part. Taking shit apart, putting it back together properly is probably the hard part. Probably. They make it look easy. But yeah, so if you're new to the channel, thanks for coming on board. I had a bunch of new subscribers sort of come on board with the little sign writing video I did on that wood saw the other week, 2-3 weeks ago now. If you are here because you cottoned onto that, I do that stuff occasionally, not all the time, but thanks for coming on board anyway. Like you know, if you like custom culture stuff, you'll like, well, kind of me, well, not me, but the stuff I fart around with in the garage. And like, subscribe if you haven't already done so, that would be awesome. We're sliding towards 1,000 subscribers, which is like milestone stuff in the YouTube channel, small channel world. Other channels get all excited when they're hitting 100,000, 200,000, 1 million and stuff like that, but I'm nearly at 1,000, so half you buggers will probably leave now and they'll be back down to 820 or something. But yeah, thanks as always for watching. Like, share, comment, let us know what you think about the autopsy on the 383. Like, interested to hear with what people have kind of experiences they've had, maybe like with you know, things that were running that, I don't know, shouldn't really have been running, and it was still running okay. Like, it still did a little skid here and there with 40 psi in one cylinder and 110 in another, and I don't know, half an aluminium boat floating around in the sump. But yeah, so anyway, enough jibber jabber. Going to the drags next week, so probably won't make a video about that because it's just going to be me watching the drags. So maybe I'll take my camera gear and that up, but and video some stuff. But yeah, I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, so next week won't be doing anything else in here, but for now I'm just going to clean up and box up all the stuff to go to the engine builders and get the new 350, the new old mystery motor 350 that I picked up yesterday, up onto the stand, so I can kind of give it a bit of a clean up and go through, make a list on all the stuff I need to get for that, and then we can hopefully get that into the bomb truck. Hopefully it goes, it turns over, compression feels good, so I don't know, and then yeah, get the truck back on the road under its own steam would be awesome. So yeah, till next time, take it easy and peace.